I want to talk for about 3 hours from a simple thought: show yourself a man. Dr. Miles Monroe says, males are born, men are made. And I know there are many of you in this room that may be able to attest, whether you're male or not, this message is still applicable to you, that there are some challenges that education did not prepare you for. There are some life lessons that you learned that your father told you about, but you didn't believe it until you became a man. There are some situations that you find yourself in that you are still wondering, how in the world did I even get in this situation? David, who is the king, is about to die. He's led about 40 years in Israel, I believe, in Jerusalem, and he's led another 13 or so somewhere else, and another 20 elsewhere. And he's made a lot of mistakes. He's got a Rolodex of lessons. Lessons. Not losses. Lessons. Not losses. Lessons. Not every loss is a loss. Sometimes a loss is a lesson. Not every loss is a loss. Sometimes a loss is a lesson. And David is trying to tell his son that's about to take the throne advice. He never tells his son how much money to make. Notice that. He doesn't leave his son with how much money he can make in his lifetime, but he leaves his son with an instruction on how to show yourself a man. Because we learn how to give better advice looking back than we do looking forward. Because you can help school people by looking back over your life and telling them things that they should do or should not do. I want to tell you, as great as you look today, the greatest enemies you'll face are not on the outside of you. They are on the inside of you. Notice this: the greatest thing a father can leave a child is not fortune to inherit alone, but a faith worth following. He tells his son about how to live this faith that's worth following, because if I leave you money, you can spend it. But if I leave you character, it will outlive you. He's trying to help his son not deny the reality that he's made some major blunders in his life, but he wants his son to live in purpose. Because here's the thing: son, learn from my scars without having to earn them yourselves. Son, learn from my scars without having to earn them yourself. He says, you are a man, show yourself as a man. And when David was out in the field, he had to kill the lion and the bear. And he had to kill the lion and the bear because the lion and the bear was standing in front of his assignment. The question that you and I must ask ourselves is, what must we kill to fulfill our assignment? If you want respect, you don't get respect by talking. You get respect by killing something and bringing it to the forefront to say, this was going to harm my generation, but I killed it. I killed it for my father. I killed it for my grandfather. I was the one. I may have started off a little different. I may have started off on a bad road, but I killed something. If you want to get respect, I'm not saying kill someone physically. I'm saying sometimes you got to kill things that are trying to kill you. It may be your appetite. It may be your ambition. It may be the desires. But if you want to go to the next level, you've got to kill what's standing in front of you so that you can grow to the next level. Because a lot of the things that God wants to do in your life and my life, they are not on the outside. They are the enemies that are on the inside. He says you are a man when you know your purpose. What is your purpose? You've been created more than just to make money, because you can make money and still be empty. You can make money and still be unfulfilled. You can make, now that's not an excuse not to make money. You should make money, and you should make a lot of money so that you can take care of your children's children's children. We're not going to knock money and as if holiness is being poor. David is showing his son the analogy of what makes a man. You need to know your purpose. You are made more than just having children. And yes, you may have not had a dad, but what you need to kill is being able to be a better dad than the dad that you did not have. You may have not had wisdom in your corner, but you need to kill the fact that your children won't grow up without wisdom, because you're going to stand in the gap. And you may not have any kids, but that doesn't stop you from showing yourself to being a man. You got to protect your assignment. You got to protect your assignment. You got to protect your assignment. If you got kids, you got to protect them from their own desires. You got to protect them sometimes from their own dreams, which will become a nightmare. You got to protect them from their own desires and appetites. You got to protect the assignment. You got to protect your spouse from areas and places that she may go, that he may go, that they're not aware of. You got to protect your assignment. Yes, it's a lot. 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 Let's get over the fact that it's a lot, because here's the reality. If you ask God to fill your plate, don't get mad when you gotta eat a lot. It is a lot. We know it's a lot. You gotta wake up and take care of your family. You gotta wake up and give leadership. You gotta wake up and give leadership to your community. You gotta wake up and do all the things that you need to do. It is a lot, but you cannot complain about having food on your plate because there's someone waiting in line to eat the food that you are complaining about. So what I want you to do is don't try to eat the whole thing in one sitting. Learn how to measure yourself and eat it a bite at a time. So here's what he's teaching them. He's like, listen, you got to learn how to submit to God's laws. And you got to learn how to live for generations after you. Every man has to kill something before he can carry something. Every man has to kill something before he can carry something. You can't want to carry influence, but you can't kill anything. You can't want to carry greatness and not be afraid of criticism. You cannot be afraid to want to go to the next level and be afraid about people walking away from you at this level. It is a requirement to be the one to show yourself as a man. David says, no, I need you to show yourself as a man. And he says this, the greatest enemy of a man is not another man, it's the undisciplined self. The greatest enemy of a man is not a man, it's the undisciplined self. It is your lack of discipline that gets you into circumstances that you need God to bring you out of. It is our lack of discipline that gets us in situations that we need God to give us a miracle from. It is our lack of discipline that makes us have to pray and ask God to do something amazing in our lives, because if we had discipline, it would have helped our decisions. And I'm not here to beat you up, because some of us have made a lot of bad decisions, but we can still have the discipline to make better decisions. You are not the sum total of the decisions that you made yesterday. You are the sum total of the decisions that you made yesterday and the determination to make better decisions today. If you let your yesterday define you, you might as well live in your shadow. But you've got to make up in your mind that I'm going to live a better tomorrow, because there's a generation that depends on me doing what I need to do so that they don't face the same struggles that I used to face. I may have struggled, but I don't want my children to struggle. And you may not have money to give them, but you got wisdom to give them. You got direction to give them. You got the ability to teach them stick-to-itiveness. Because there's a lot of people who can't stick to anything. You don't stick to a job. You don't stick to friendships. You don't stick to marriage. You don't stick to your gym commitments. You don't stick to your financial disciplines. If you don't stick, you won't stay. There will be seasons where you want to unstick yourself because it just seems like it's a lot. It just seems like it's too much pressure. It just seems like, and David is recollecting to his son who is going to make his own mistakes, but he cannot say that my father did not try to lead me the right direction, because he understood that you're about to enter in a position that books will not teach you how to do when you are faced with pressure. You are not who you are when things are good. You learn who's always been living in you when you're under pressure. So David is telling him, show yourself as a man, because he's trying to teach him, number one, identity. Your identity is not based on what you have, because you can have it today and lose it tomorrow. Your identity is not based on what you do, because you could do it today and not have the ability to do it tomorrow. Your identity is not based on how much money you have in your bank account, because as many of us know, stock markets go up, stock markets go down. 1 minute your bank account is good, 1 minute your bank account is bad. Your identity cannot be based on what you do, because if your identity is based on what you do, then you will meet people who only love you for what you do. No, don't get it confused. People love what you do. They don't love who you are, because you've never given them an opportunity to get to know who you are, because the minute they try to know who you are, you throw at their face what you do. And what you do is not who you are. It is a representation of who you are, but it is not the sum total of who you are. David says, show yourself as a man. Show yourself as a man. Show yourself as a man. He says, listen, you need to have identity. Because if you don't know who you are, you'll let anyone define you at their price. You'll let anyone define you at their price. He says you got to know who you are. That's why you can't get caught up in designer brands and all that type of stuff. If you got the money to do it, wear it. But you should not let a brand define who you are, because you were it before the brand got on your body. You got to have that type of confidence. Let me help you raise your confidence, because they want to dumb you down in church, and they want you to walk with your head down, because we want you to be humble. If you are a child of the King, there's a certain attitude that you should have. There's a certain mentality that you should have, because if I know my Father owns a cattle upon 1,000 hills, I don't have to apologize for my position in God. It is who God has made me to be. But he says not just your identity, but then number two, y'all, you have to have governance. On a car, there's a thing called a governor. And a governor doesn't exist because the car is weak. It exists because the car is powerful. And most of us are not succeeding in life because we don't have no governance. We don't have no boundaries. We don't have no restrictions. We don't have no walls. We don't have no areas where just like, I ain't finna go. Like I know you going to the club, but I gotta govern myself, because I don't know how I'm gonna respond if I've been delivered from the club. I ain't been in the club in all my life, but there's certain areas I ain't trying to go, because I'm trying to govern who I used to be. I don't want to give who I used to be an alley-oop to find me again. It is called governance. There are some things that I just will not do, because I want to govern myself. I want to govern how I think. I want to govern what comes into my heart, because there are some things that come into your eyes that you can't unsee. It's called governance. There's some Instagram things you got to scroll past, because if you stay too long, you're going to pay too long. Remember, sin will cost you more than you want to pay and make you stay longer than what you want to stay. There are some seasons where you got to have governance. Got to have governance. You know, when you walk in a room, you take a room, but you got to have governance. You know, when you walk in, people see you got to have governance. Because if you don't have governance, you'll move by the winds. Your life will be blown by whatever storm comes. You got to have governance. It's not just identity, not just governance. He says to this guy, he's like, I'm trying to teach you what it is to show yourself as a man. And he says, if you do these things, the Lord Look at this. He says this. And keep charge of the Lord your God, walking in his ways. Walking in God's ways. Like, you need to walk in God's ways. You need to learn how to walk in God's ways. No, you need to learn how to walk in God's ways. You need to learn how to walk in God's ways. No, I didn't say you need to learn how to walk in your way. You need to learn how to walk in God's way. Because God's way leads to favor. God's way leads to opportunity. And when God opens a door, you ain't got to look over your shoulder because no one can shut it because it's God's way. No one can curse what God has blessed because it's God's way. It may take you longer, but you'll stay longer. But you got to look at it God's way. He says, no, I need you to do it God's way. He says, I need you to follow the statutes that God has given you. Because here's the reality, church. Once you start doing it God's way, you will start to see people who don't belong move out your way. No. When you do it God's way, I saw a post that said, you will have more friends from your unhealthy version of yourself than you will from the healthier version of yourself. It's amazing how people will celebrate the dysfunctional you. But when you get wise enough to learn how to function, people don't like that type of you, and they'll tell you, you change. Well, let me free you as you come to 800 North Pine Hills Road. If you stay the same, something wrong with you. Everyone changes. Everything changes. Nothing is meant to stay the same. I don't think like I used to think. I don't act like I used to act. You telling me I change is a compliment, because in order to go to the next level, you've got to make some adjustments so you can stay at that level. So you've been broke your whole life. Now you graduated and got some money, and now you decided you don't want to give your credit to other people, or you changed. No, I got smart. I understood what Proverbs says. Don't sign for anyone unless you're willing to risk the consequences of what comes when you sign. You have to give yourself permission to evolve. And David is talking to his son from the posture of evolution. I was you. When I became king, I didn't know what it was to be a king because my mentor was a tormentor. He hated me not because of who I was, but because of potential that I didn't see in myself. And there are some people that you're looking towards help from that will not help you because they see more in you than you see in yourself. You're a threat to their ability to become what they know you can become, but I need you to become it regardless of what they feel or what they think about you. You have to give yourself permission to evolve. Because if you don't evolve, you will die at the expectations of people who gave themselves permission to evolve, but want to handcuff you to the version that they met. They will evolve and they will tell you it is fine for me to evolve, but for you, I want you to stay at the level that you're on because I benefit more from your dysfunction than I benefit from you being functional. And David's trying to teach his son Solomon how to manage the next level. Now I'm closing because it's hot. The mark of manhood is not power. It's possessing power while remaining under control. The mark of manhood, show yourself as a man, is not power. It's possessing power while you remain under control. So here's what David's concerns to his sons are, because it's critically important. David, you killed a lion, you killed a bear, you killed Goliath. Listen to this. David, you killed a lion, you killed a bear, and you killed Goliath. You killed a lion, you killed a bear, and you killed Goliath. But the one thing that you can't kill is your appetite. You are not drawn away by the lust of the world. You are drawn away by your own desires. And most of us are winning in school. We're winning on the job. We're winning in finances. Or we're doing the best that we can, and we're doing better than most of our generation. But we're not winning in our appetite. I want to close with this thought, two thoughts. David understood that kingdoms are not preserved by charisma alone. They're sustained by character. So here's what I want to leave you with. There was a young man. Let me back up with this thought, and I'm out your way. David gets to a place where he's not trying to impress Solomon. He's trying to prepare him. He says, you killed a lion, you killed a bear, and you killed Goliath. Which means every level you get to, there's another fight. Yeah, I know you want to get to a point where there's no fight. There's just a different version of what you defeated the last time. You're going to kill the lion, and sometimes we celebrate killing the lion, not recognizing the bear is waiting on us. You killed the bear, but Goliath is now waiting on you. You're going to spend your entire life killing things. And there'll be some seasons where you get hit by what you're trying to kill. And there'll be some seasons where what you try to kill will try to kill you and scar you in the process. And there'll be some seasons where you won the battle, but you were injured in the war. Listen to this statement. David lost the war because he was too injured to fight the next battle. If you don't break, you will break. And David got to a point where he was winning. He beat the lion. He beat the tiger. He beat the bear. He beat Goliath. And one day they're at war. And he's like, I just want to be normal. And he loses a small war because some of us are so used to fighting big battles that it's not the big ones that kill us anymore. It's the small ones. It's not the lion that's taking you out. It's not the bear that's taking you out. It's not Goliath taking you out. It's the small ones. I'm closing 9 minutes early because I'm hot. There was a young man that heard his son praying in the room. His son was like, God, make me like my father. Make me strong like my father. Make me wise like my father. Make me eloquent like my father. Give me character like my father. Give me the stick-to-itiveness of my father. And the father's listening to his son pray these things about him. And when he's finished praying, listening to his son pray, he goes into his room and prays, God, make me the things my son believes I am. So my prayer for all of us is make us all the things our sons have been praying for us to become. Bow your heads, let's pray.